welcome to the Barrel Buddies. I'm James.
And I'm BJ. Welcome back to your weekly booze, news, and reviews.
We need like a
Zing!
animation.
Honka, honka.
Exactly. Welcome to the show. Apologies for our tardiness. We were going through some challenges at the Salvation Army technical room over here.
Technical grab bag.
Technical
grab bag of fun. We found it in the cable bag. Need a cable? Get it from the cable bag.
Yeah, our problem was a video converter, which has since been replaced.
We've done figured it out.
We're on our backup, but the backup I'm not super confident about
Stop
either.
it. No, it looks great. It looks good.
Yeah, but it overheated, and that's why I had to stop using it last time. So we'll see how much we get through. Yeah, we'll see how much we get through.
Hour-long shows.
So how's it going, man? I mean, we're bringing back, I think, an golden oldie.
And
Blue
a
Note, right?
and a polished newbie. We're going to talk about Blue Note, but I saw this on the shelf and I had to pull it off. This is going to be the Blue Note Single Barrel Reserve. First of all, look how sleek, look how beautiful this bottle is. Oh my goodness. It looks like it just came hot off the BTAC.
Yeah, and I want to share
it's like a
like
BTAC bottle. It's beautiful.
It's great. It's a great bottle. I want to
bring
up their website here. Let's get this going so we can share it with our friends here.
I'm going to give you a little rundown of what this is. This is a 10-year unfiltered straight bourbon whiskey. Oh, pardon me. Out of Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay. There we go. All right. Ed, how's it going? Good to see you.
Is that Ed Hatcher?
That's Ed Hatcher. Good to see you too, brother. We have some Blue Note treats tonight. So getting into Blue Note. So I kind of consider myself, so technically they don't distribute to Nevada, okay? And they don't distribute to Las Vegas. However, I consider myself the unofficial spokesperson of Las Vegas for the Blue Note line. I cannot tell you guys. This is my daily drinker.
You are.
I tout this everywhere I go. I take it to almost every share. It's one of my kind of like secret bottles that I take to a share where somebody's like, oh, come to the share, but bring something that's not in distro, right? And you're like, oh, God, what do I got to bring today?
Oh, Blue Note.
And you're just like, Blue Note. Like, I always bring Blue Note. And it always is a crowd pleaser. It always, everybody will compliment it in one way or another. Yeah. I don't think I've ever let anyone try this where they're like, ew. Like,
no, I've never heard that.
I don't know anybody that was like,
Never.
Everybody was like, or like, wowed.
Yes.
So that's what we love about these guys. They are based out of Memphis, Tennessee.
So this is juice crafted in Kentucky, and then it is aged and crafted in Memphis. This is 185 proof coming in at 105 proof. Excuse me, that 0 looks like an 8. 105 proof coming in at 52.5%. So this is hot, and I will tell you my initial take on the nose was that it's very hot. At 52.5, that's not, to me, typically very hot, but it smells like a hot boy.
Yeah, and that's got a little bit of funk. I'm getting like a funky.
I say the ethanol starting to come off the face a little bit
in a good way. And what I mean by that, you kind of get that.
It does have some interesting,
like that fermentation funk. Like if you get like a funky rye or a funky bourbon.
I like that.
Well, cheers.
I'm sorry. You asked me a question earlier, and I completely ignored you as I was downing a Fest beer from last week's Oktoberfest show.
Okay.
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for asking. Yes, It's been a good week. The temperatures are coming down in Vegas. It feels like fall time. We got Fest and holidays and things all coming up, so it's good. How about you? How are you?
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because I always say that once during Vegas, I mean, guys, we live in the desert right out here in Vegas, and it's usually the summer. Everybody kind of lays low, right? Just works, does the grind. Maybe do a little bar visit here and there and do your thing and go visit somewhere else, but not really too much in Vegas during the summer because it's hot, right? But I'm telling you right now, we're starting to get into those perfect temps and these are the reasons why us residents live here when we do, because the season, I would say, has started.
It's here.
We're here.
When the highs are at 90,
90s,
and you've been used to 110,
Yeah.
and it's in the
Yeah.
90s as the
It's
high.
all these events start popping up. Everybody starts
good.
coming out of the woodwork,
It's
and
good.
our schedules fill up like mad. It's
We got-
crazy.
We got San Gennaro Feast coming up. We
Oh,
got
there's so
Greek
much
Fest
going
coming up.
on. There's
Age of Chivalry is coming
yeah.
up.
We have Ren Fair.
The
We
Ren
have.
Fair. Yeah.
I'll be there.
I-
I
I'm-
love going there.
We should go and broadcast live.
we should go
Ye
broadcast
old barrel
live.
buddies.
Oh, ye old barrel buddies.
What do you think about that first sip? What are you getting on that?
It is. I'm getting a lot of age, and let me have another sip, and I'll explain what that means to me.
I'm not ready for my next sip. I'm really enjoying it. It's got a long finish.
It lingers, and it's delightful. It has a bit of a. It has a. I'm not going to call it a bite, but it has like a sharpness. Like
It's got some oak spice on the front, and I think that's the 10 years,
that's a
right?
Great way to put it.
You get some nice sharp oak spice on the front end, but it really gives way to a nice smooth caramelly. It's like liquid caramel.
Yeah,
And a little cream. And like a very cream, those creamy Werthers.
it is very creamy. It definitely
Very
has
creamy.
a creaminess to it.
Sweet cream, sweet corn. That's really good. And this barrel pick was very, very good.
Yeah. What surprises me though, and I don't want to jump ahead, but our next bottle, like a lot of people like that I've been reading, like take like shit all over it. Just throwing that out there. I don't know why.
No reason to
They
do
really
that.
just give it some junky middle of the road rating. Just kind of going through some stuff here. I'm just like, wow.
Well, don't do that.
Like, whoever I don't want to call people out, but anyway,
You've been to? Let me ask you this: You've been
Yes.
to any cool new bars, any new restaurants, any new places here in Vegas that you need to go check out?
no, and the reason I say
What is
that
that?
is here's what I want to say though is I think that I've been to some fan favorites recently
Okay.
that I want to talk about because I think they still hold up to today.
Oh, lay it out there.
Had a little jaunt over so it was actually like Monday was at Frankie's Tiki.
Delightful.
So I think Frankie's, I had a Mai Tai, just had a little Mai Tai, go in there for a tiki cocktail, which is Mai Tai is a classic tiki cocktail, right?
It is.
Yeah.
It is classic.
And I was thoroughly impressed.
Hey, everyone.
And
Could you let me know in the chat or in the comments how much pineapple juice do you put in your Mai Tai?
ooh, and I watched mine being made, so I will once we get some answers, I'll relay how much was put into mine.
I know how much is supposed to go in there.
Ooh. So what are we sipping on?
Measurement. So again, we've got in the neat glass,
Yeah.
we've got the single barrel reserve at 52.5%.
All right, we need
And
to.
it is
Does the bottle have a description, like
Wow.
a story or anything?
no story, but
There's not a lot about
But
this.
we know,
online.
listen, we know a lot about Blue Notes. Let's talk a little
We
bit
do.
about it.
We
right?
do.
We know that it's made in Kentucky, shipped over to their rick houses in Memphis, Tennessee, where it's
Yes.
aged. Some really cool stories come out of Blue Note. Can you tell us the tornado survivor
We'll
story?
get into that. I want to talk a little bit about them, right? So
Sure.
they
Yeah,
are
yeah.
in Memphis, Tennessee. B&R Distilling Co. So they're an NDP that has a license that was issued in 2014 that they have since taken over since 2018, and that makes them the oldest distillery license holder in the city of Memphis.
Oh,
So
that's
these guys
interesting.
are
That's
newer-ish
interesting.
to the game, but I want to say kudos to Blue Note because they were able to, I think, get in before the NDP explosion
Sure.
of the
Yeah.
past few years where it's like, oh, hey, come try our 2-year Amberana for $100 a bottle.
I know
And
you
you're
love those
like,
Ambu finishes.
Ambu. Apologies.
Ambu finishes.
And now all those are sitting on the shelves all over the place. So good riddance. And kudos to Blue Note for taking a step above that and elevating themselves. And I just think having a great lineup of products. And one thing that I want to mention is that the 10-year, I can't find too much information about it, except it was replaced with a 9-year.
Oh, I was just
Oh
going to
no,
say.
excuse me. I was looking at their past releases.
There
So
you
they
go, there you
have
go.
a 10-year single barrel reserve. Then afterwards, they ended up releasing a 9-year small batch, which is a
Boo.
small batch, right? But we're at now which I'm sharing here, that everyone can see it on the Blue Note page.
Single barrel.
So it's
yeah.
unfiltered, straight from the barrel. It
Hmm.
is aged for a minimum of 9 years, which is interesting because I mean there could be some more in there, but it's a single barrel, so it's not. Anyway, so it's from Kentucky.
Okay.
Barrel proof, unfiltered. They have about, it says yield. There was only 150 to 180 bottles of this.
And would you like to know the bottle number of this one?
Please.
Bottle number 176.
Wow.
So we're right at the
right at the bottom of
end.
that barrel.
When we're right at the bottom of the barrel going, oh, we might get some. That's probably where we get some of the funk.
In 2021, it did scoop up the double gold from the San Francisco World Spirits Competition.
Fabulous.
And it won some Sippin' Award Innovation in 2021 as well. Very cool.
I think this is delightful. This is really good.
This is cool to show, this map of distro.
Oh yeah, show where you could walk in and
Yeah.
pick up one.
I'm showing it here to
There you
everybody.
go.
So you guys can see here on the map, kind of in blue, the states of their distro. And you can see here on the West Coast, we don't get it. So if you guys are in any of these blue states and watching this, keep an eye out for Blue Note. And let me show. Let's look at what they have right now.
Just had a question.
Products. There you guys.
I
go right
don't mean
there.
to. I don't mean to pry.
Pry away.
But I noticed that this particular one is a store pick. This is
Mhm.
the Wilbur's Total Beverage Wine and Spirits pick.
Oh,
Wilbur. And I'm just wondering, what was the price on this?
so that was actually a kicker in a trade.
This is the
So,
kicker.
I know
This
it
was
was
the
a
kicker?
big trade. So
Wow.
from what I remember, I traded away 3 Stag Junior bottles
Okay.
and a Weller 12
Okay.
for a Blue Note 10,
Uh-huh.
3 Blue Note single barrel bottles,
Okay. Yeah.
and the Lucky 7
Ugh.
14. I know you don't like it. I knew when I was going to say that.
That
You
was
were
a
gonna be
kicker.
upset. The 14 year. So I got all of those bottles. There might have been one more in there.
I
But
remember
and this
trade.
was before
I
these
remember
guys
this
blew up.
trade.
Yeah. But anyway, it went very well. I sent it all off. They
That's
sent
good.
it all back.
That's good.
Shout out to, actually, I'm not going to say that because I don't want to say
Yeah.
anything.
Don't drop any. Of that.
Anyway, if
So I'm gonna give you-
anybody's listening in.
I appreciate knowing that. So would I think this is a value? I think as a kicker bottle, this is a value.
So here's the thing: it retailed when it dropped for like $80. However, this was like a couple years ago.
I bet you
pre-COVID.
$300, $400
Yeah,
secondary.
I mean, even if you could find it, they go for about like $300 to $400.
Okay.
Like whatever. If you guys really want it, would I say go hunt for it? No, I wouldn't say that it's blowing my mind. Go get it now. And
Interesting.
we've talked about that on shows. I appreciate it. I enjoy it as a 10-year. If it's from Kentucky, I almost question if it's MGP. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
We don't know. They again, as NDP, they could be getting this from lots of different places. Obviously, getting it out of Kentucky.
Getting it out of Kentucky, heading down to Memphis. But what do you think? I mean, why don't you jump in and get it like a quick
I'm just going to give it a quick score and give it a quick review.
Mm.
So the nose is met with a barrage of ethanol on the front end.
And let me say something. They even say right here in the description, notes of deep oak whiskey lovers seek out. So
yeah.
I don't know what that sentence is kind of written weird, but anyway.
So I don't love the nose on this.
I don't love it either.
This doesn't really have a nose.
I get think about like when you first open your attic and you just kind of go into it to like change a filter or something. I get that like kind of woody, dusty, arid, musty room a little bit, but not in a bad way. Like guys, I'm really trying to convey.
I'm glad you get that. I don't get that. I'm going to tell you, I get a lot of
light.
It's light. Yeah, it's light. There's a lot of ethanol. So to me, I'd give the nose a 1. I think for the taste on the palate, it's well balanced and it's got nice mouthfeel. It's got a good body. It's 10 years in the barrel. I think it's got a lot of oak spice on the front end, but that finish is beautiful. It's really creamy, really sweet. It's really enjoyable. It doesn't pull me back. So if I've got to knock it, I'd say it's a little one-sided. I'd probably give it a 2. Again, I think that for the MSRP at $80, when we're talking $10 per year aged,
I think
that's
I'd scoop it
that's a
up at that.
value.
Secondary,
Secondary,
nah, I wouldn't go hunt it, like go after it.
yeah. I try and get it in a trade or a razzle.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's a value. I'd probably get it at a 2. That said, am I disappointed by this? No. No. I think there is a blown away bonus in there.
Yeah.
It's going to put me in the high 90s, like a high 60s, like a 68, 69.
Okay.
That's where that 9 Freudian slipped out. Like a 68, 69. It's really nice. Would I pull this out every day? No. Would I reach for it even for the special occasion? No. Am I really glad we're drinking it tonight? 100%.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, no, it's really cool that we dusted this one off literally, I think, when we grabbed it off the shelf, and you seemed like pretty awestruck when you're like, wow, I can't believe we had this or have it still. So
Nice.
I kind of concur and agree with most. I would also give the nose a 1, but I don't want to say it's a bad nose. I just think that it's a very light, delicate nose, kind of opposite of what what we really look for on the show is a lot of thick boys, as they say, where we're looking for like the rich, viscous, what most kind of, people are looking for in whiskey. And this is kind of the opposite of that. And I respect it for what it is, just because I'm a big Blue Note fan. So, one on the nose, taste. Go ahead while I'm thinking about the taste here.
You know what I was going to just say about the taste is, most Blue Note has that Tennessee whiskey flavor.
I get that element. I get a little bit of nuttiness,
nuts and peanuts.
Yeah,
I would say peanuts are not there, but I would go with a candied praline. Right?
There's
it's
a
like
type of nuttiness.
Candied nut or a candied almond. It's in the finish.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's not peanuts. It's not honey roasted peanuts. It's not peanuts anything. It's a very rich nutness.
You get a roasty nuttiness. Nutness is what you said. Please, from the decree today, from here on out,
a lot of nutness.
Whenever you refer to Tennessee whiskey nuttiness, you have to call it nutness. Nutness. I love that.
You really feel that nutness in your mouth? Yikes.
Get into the chat a little bit.
Cringe.
Ed is not drinking a tiki cocktail, but he is having a good vodka pint. But a good vodka pineapple works for him.
Good
that's
for
what
you.
he's saying.
Good for
he's
you.
Drinking that right
like
now.
That. That's nice.
But yeah, no, I'm the same. If I'm hurting and there's nothing around to drink and I just see pineapple and vodka, yeah, I'll participate. Mrs. Askins, I want to know about tiki bars people like. We can add to our list when we travel. Oh,
yeah, hometown tikis. Any hometown tiki bars?
I mean, in Vegas, I talked about Frankie's and then Golden Tiki. I think are kind of the two golden standards in Vegas.
You're missing 2. I'm going to throw 2 at you.
You have your hand on the pulse of the tiki scene. I know nothing about it, so please do tell.
Okay, so Red Dwarf.
Oh,
I like Red Dwarf, which not everybody will agree is a tiki bar. It's more of like a punk rock bar with a tiki infection.
A tiki cancer.
But I will tell you that it's the best pizza in Las Vegas.
Oh, it's spectacular. I don't know about best.
The best
pizza, but
I'm gonna go best. I know you. Those are fighting words for you, but
that's
and then I'm gonna throw one out there that's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And if you know, you know, and if you don't, you don't. And that's Casa de Tiki at Casa de Amore.
That's right. They do have a tiki bar in the back.
You forget about it.
Wonderful landmark Italian restaurant.
Been around forever.
Over on Tropicana and Eastern here in Vegas. Casa de Amore.
You have missed
Casa de Tiki. Magical Italian restaurant experience.
It's in the back.
In the back.
They serve the full menu back there. So you get tiki vibes, Italian food, and the full menu.
I love the food there. It's just classic Italian. If you just want like a great lasagna, that's usually what I get. Lasagna, or just they do a great marsala. Like their chicken marsala is on point.
Off the strip, people.
There you go. And it's off the strip and it's affordable. So if you guys are coming out to Vegas and you're looking for a value, Casa de Amore, also hit up the Tiki Lounge there. What do you got?
Can I tell you about another Italian experience that I just recently went and had? And I'm
What's
curious
that?
if you have also done it yet.
Go ahead. If it's the Italian American Club, I have not been there in years.
Oh, I do love that.
That's another great spot.
It's a
but
good
that's
spot. Not tiki, but
probably
it's
not tiki.
very,
Not
very
not
Italian,
tiki.
right?
It's
It's very
Italian.
Italian.
Yeah.
Now, I was going to ask if you've ever been to Chicago Joe's.
The little brick 5-seater. I have been to Chicago.
You've been to Chicago Joe's on 4th Street in downtown? You know, the place with real bullet holes on the
Here's the
outside.
thing. I think it's kind of a tourist trap.
Oh my God, it's a hole.
Yeah,
a
like
hole.
I think their appeal is they're trying to really get the tourists in there. Wasn't really Casa de Amore.
Oh.
I think blows it out of the water by leaps and bounds.
So can I tell you this?
It's
I gotta tell you
fun,
this
but
story.
please tell the story.
So Chicago Joe's, you may have seen it recently. It was featured in TikTok. It went around on the TikTok.
Hold on,
site.
can I just say something?
Sure.
Because this is pretty riveting. Mrs. Hastings says, I've never been. Her husband has not taken me to Casa de Amore. Wow.
What a terrible guy.
That's what a piece of shit.
What a
What a
big
piece
piece.
of shit. Please go on. Continue the
Thanks.
story. Piece of shit.
So we go to.
I mean, that guy.
but-
or that
but-
guy.
you know, he did take her to this tourist trap called Chicago Joe's.
Oh yeah, Chicago Joe's. Hey.
Chicago Joe's. Let me pop my collar for some Chicago.
It's this little.
Joe's.
First of all, it's this little brick building down on
No,
like
it's not a building,
downtown.
it's a house.
It's like a
Somebody's
brick house.
house.
Yeah, it's a brick house.
They ripped
that's
all the walls
a
out.
single-story brick house. It's
that
like
might be-
3-bedroom grandma's house.
It might be 900 square feet,
maybe, and the floor creaks when
and
you
they
like.
converted the garage into the kitchen. Yeah.
I'm not a fan.
So it is a tourist trap.
Don't go there.
So we go there. No, this
Yeah.
is great. We go there, and it's like an upscale Batista's hole in the wall, right?
Mm.
It's not Batista's. but
Another
it's like it.
place that's polarizing because I've ran my mouth about my dislike towards Batista's, and some people are like fervent Bautista faithful followers.
And for them, I'm sorry.
I'm
You
sorry
don't
too that
know.
you don't know what Italian
You don't
food is,
know.
but it's so bad.
I'm glad that you like
I'm
heated
glad
up
you like your
Costco noodles.
Boxed wine, all you can drink, big deal.
Franzia fans. Sorry. So in Chicago, Joe's
Spaghetti
not much better though.
Warehouse. Spaghetti
much better.
Warehouse is what I'm gonna call both these places.
So we go in there.
Go ahead.
The poor waiter. There's like room for 2 waiters, right?
Yeah.
900 square feet.
It's so cramped in there. And like, listen, I'm not a small guy.
Oh,
You're
I'm not a small
you're
guy.
like half my size,
No,
and it's still a tight
no,
squeeze.
no, we're very similar, right? So this poor waiter gets like triple sat.
Oh man.
So it's a 2 top, me
yeah.
and the missus, a 4 top behind us that is obviously 4 females that are out on the town,
Yeah, yeah.
tourists.
Yeah, tourists.
And then we've got a 6 top locals
God.
from Kentucky, my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you live in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think I've seen you before. Having a
Down
birthday.
Water Street.
They're having a birthday. We all get seated at the same time. Our poor waiter like sees it. You can see the panic in his
Oh, I'm
face.
sure. It's
But you
like-
can also see he's been a waiter for a long time.
so he knows.
So he
knows
literally
how to-
goes-
how to manage it.
Hey, everybody's attention. The spaghetti and meatballs is great, and the special tonight is cheese ravioli. Who wants wine? So he's speaking to everybody at the same time.
I mean, think about it. I think that's great.
It was
That is
great.
quick thinking on his behalf.
So he gets all the drinks ordered, gets bread on all the tables. Amanda had, I don't remember. Oh, lasagna. She ordered the lasagna. She said it was very good. I had they did a spicy mussels Diablo,
Oh.
which was delightful, served over penne. It was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the ladies behind us, I don't know who ordered what, but one of them ordered the cheese ravioli. And it was hilarious because at the end of the meal, as they're trying to like finish up and pay, the girl goes, "Oh, I mean, those are just the cheese ravioli you buy at Costco. Like I buy those frozen cheese ravioli at Costco for my family like every week."
Well, it sounds kind of like US foods ish.
Happy
Cisco.
birthday to you. And I was like, "Oh, I'm
Oh,
glad we did this
boy.
once. Good adventure. Good adventure."
Mrs. Atson says Chicago Joe's is like that old John Candy movie Summer Rental where they order
Ugh.
Scully's Catch of the Day.
It was, yes. 2 beautifully golden fried fillet of fish to the perfect level. Does that sound delightful? Yes, yes, we'll take
Yes.
5 Scully's Catch of the Day. Yes, 5 Scully Catch of the Day. Extra special good. And he's taking it out of the freezer and throw it in the microwave.
Well, it also reminds me of The Sopranos. If you remember The Sopranos, where the wives go to Italy to eat,
Oh,
and there was just a whole debacle there. And then
Didn't watch that show.
what's Lampoons? Isn't it Lampoons where they also go there and they're this has been years since I've seen it. Lampoons,
Okay.
Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
They're there, and like the waiters are getting Stouffer's out of the freezer.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, microwave,
European national
and then
Lampoon's
dumping them,
European vacation.
dumping them on the plate and putting the plate on the hot pads.
Yes. Yep. Exactly. Flap.
It's like Stouffer's, and they're just like flap.
Ding,
Right
ding.
on the ding, ding.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely. Did you get that? Did you get what I sent you? Did you see? I sent you a reel from the original vacation.
Oh wow!
When he's like
I think
screaming
so.
about going to effing Wally World. We're gonna have an effing great time. I was like, oh my god, I need to rewatch this movie.
We here's what I'm thinking. This is like an idea that I just want to share with everyone because it's coming to me now and I don't want to forget it.
Yeah, lay it out there.
We need to start watching those classic movies live
Oh,
and
God.
drink and we'll schedule it.
Oh god.
We'll get our fans, we'll get the Barrel Buddy faithful on here.
Okay.
Everybody gets a cocktail. We start the movie, we pause it, we'll do trivia, we can do whatever. And we can just put ourselves in the corner and I'll watch the movie. I gotta stream it actually. So
I love this,
yeah.
but we got
It will probably no, it won't probably. It will have to be on another platform. Not YouTube, unfortunately.
where we can't lose money and get yelled
Yeah,
at.
because if we stream like a copyrighted movie, obviously, but there are platforms out there that I know of where we could do this.
I really want to make a request for Police Academy.
Oh, we're gonna start with like 1980 and just start from 1980 and go through the years going up. I think is a great plan.
I love this.
All right, look at that. This idea was just conceived.
So I want to get
9:13
into
at 7:34 p.m.
I want to get
PST.
into the results of,
What do you got?
of a big event that took place last night.
Oh, what took place last
So
night?
we talk about the San Francisco Spirits Competition all the time, and it is a big
Oh,
one, right?
It is a big one.
But last night was the New York World Wine and Spirits Competition.
Never heard of it, and that sounds like a fly-by-night award where it's like I submit my bottle with $500 and they give me whatever I check
Well,
on the box.
Guess who is one of the big raters and scorers for this?
Who is?
Our favorite Forbes ascot wearing ass.
Just leave it at that. Scott Ware. I'm surprised that he's turning his back on his own awards system then. Isn't that
Oh
like
no, he just got asked to do it.
oh, good for him and good for you, buddy.
So we want to talk about some of the
I just
winners.
here's the thing. Hold on. Here's the thing. These we can probably come up with a beautiful. I can come up with a beautiful website for us. We'll call it like some really elegant name. We can come up with all this really easy fluff on a website, and then literally,
Okay.
you can just SurveyMonkey. Not SurveyMonkey. Mailchimp, kind of along the same lines.
Okay.
Mailchimp, like a big newsletter that gets sent out to like millions of people. You just throw, oh, we're having the international, tricentennial. Why don't you just come up with something? This is the yearly
Let's do it.
awards.
And everybody just needs to send in a sample.
The triple platinum highest 10-star
And $10.
7-star awards. This is the best of the best. And everybody would eat it up. I think that is an untapped market because I've seen so many fly-by-night stickers that people are putting on their bottles of like reviews and award winners. And it just chaps
Well, here's some
my rear.
here's some
Ed
booze
likes this
news.
idea. Ed likes this idea. Thanks, Ed, because I think it's great too.
Well, since Ed's the
Because
first
here's
to
the thing.
support, welcome to the tasting panel, Ed.
And I'm going to age myself. Well, we're 80s kids ish,
Yeah,
80s,
absolutely.
90s kids ish. I think that there is they like younger generations, let's say Gen Z and younger. I'll say we're kind of millennial and older, kind of in our crew.
Okay.
I think a lot of Gen Zers and younger didn't really get to watch some of these amazing movies that we got to see in the 80s, which I think were like amazing, iconic films.
Yeah.
I-
yeah.
I think that after like 90s, movies really took a downturn in their quality. Like you have like the mega big hits and the mega big reboots and stuff, but nothing's going to compare to watching like Police Academy, Revenge of the Nerds,
I
National
agree.
Lampoons,
No, I agree.
John Candy movies. Like, Tommy Boy. Like there's so many, like I know I'm jumping way ahead, but there's just so many
I like
movies.
Tommy Boy.
What did I say? Revenge of the Nerds.
did.
Like they're like, come on, they're so good and they're so classic.
All right, well, I got to bring us back.
Bring
I'm
it
gonna
back. Bring
I'm
it
gonna
back. Bring it back.
So one of the top winners
Yeah.
for bourbon this year, receiving a superior rating
Let's move on.
at $279 a bottle.
I don't want to talk about this because I don't care. Yeah.
15-star bourbon, a 13-year-old.
It's
13-year-old boy.
garbage.
Do you know what it is?
Yes, I've had it tasted it. So many people try this 15 stars. It's so good.
What's not good about it?
It was a hot ethanol mess. I don't know what else to say.
Okay.
I don't know. That's like you getting triggered by the Cutwater Double Platinum Award that Mr. Ascot gave a couple months ago. Like, I don't get it, dude. The Cutwater stuff was trash. Am I right?
Yeah.
Like, I can tell you canned cocktails that would blow Cutwater out of the water. We've talked Ninkasi. I had a Ninkasi cocktail, a canned Ninkasi
The
cocktail like 2 months ago.
The best.
It was magical. Like, I was like, I want another one.
All right,
Give me more.
I'm gonna warn viewers of the show about this next one, and you'll know who this is. We're gonna talk about a Diageo product.
Okay.
This year's coveted release will be even more coveted because they're going to limit supply to drive demand. They have already stated this. The 22-year-old Blade and Bow bourbon is coming back. And apparently it's a big crowd pleaser.
I've never had it, full disclosure. So
You've
I can't
never had
I
it.
can't react. I've never had it.
Well,
I've never had Blade and Bow.
It's coming out this month for
Okay.
National Heritage Bourbon
And let me
Heritage Month.
guess, $1,000 a bottle. Like bourbon, hey, distilleries out there, NDPs, you got to bring your prices down or your shit's going to sit on the shelves. Bourbon was supposed to be the everyday man's, brown water working man's
True.
drink. And you guys have jumped the shark. And I'm sick and tired of seeing 4 to 6 year NDPs for like over $100 a bottle. Viewers of the show, for all 5 of you that are watching and follow us, do not spend your money here. Because the only way to get these prices to come back down is to stop buying this crap. And I'm going to tell you this much. I know it's happening because I'm in a ton of groups online of husbands posting, got to clear out the bunker the wife's making me. And do you know what like the 50 bottles are that they're trying to sell? It's all the NDP crap that they probably had to buy that was in some bundles so they could get a Blanton's or a Stag or a Weller.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you this one.
Just stop buying them.
The 2023, I was reading an article this morning.
Yeah.
The 2023 Unicorn Whiskey of the Year.
I thought you said it was Unicorn brand. I'm like,
No.
I've never even heard of that.
Nope. Unicorn Whiskey of the Year
Yeah.
is any rare character bottle.
It's such a sensitive brand. I don't even want to talk about it. Like
Because of its high class NDP sourcing. I read this.
That
It's put
brand
out-
rocks so many boats when I talk to people about it. I'm like, I can't even do it anymore.
and because
I just
and,
given up.
And,
I've
and
just
hey,
given up.
James, and because of its scarcity.
Whatever. Okay, I can take a dump in a box and call it scarce. And
All right, we're gonna move on to our last news story of the night. So, for those of you that don't know,
yeah,
we're getting an F1 race in Vegas this year,
it's gonna be insanity,
Could be fun.
guys. In November.
November 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Yeah,
If you want nothing to do with amateur hour and a total hot mess, I would stay away.
do not come to Vegas, friends. I cannot emphasize that enough. I have so many like people on the other side of the country, friends and family that are like, "Oh, we're gonna come out. It's gonna be awesome."
Don't.
I'm like, "Don't you? Unless
It's
you're
already
willing
a
to
hot
spend,
mess.
unless you're willing to spend $3,000 at minimum ahead to even see a race car, don't come out
Don't
here.
come out
It's gonna be
It's
so
gonna be a
locked
mess.
down.
It's a mess.
It's already a mess because we deal with the construction. They're literally repaving the entire track, which goes up and down, down the strip and around the back of the strip by the Sphere. And it's just insanity right now. So thank you. Don't waste your time. But what's the point of this? Why are you bringing it up?
Here's another thing you shouldn't waste your time with, and that is the new partnership between an old whiskey favorite, a ride like never before.
Oh,
Whistle Pig's new racy collaboration with Alfa Romeo, aged in G-Force aged finished barrels, and then finished with lychee and oolong tea.
is Whistle Pig? Are you guys jumping the shark too? What
They
is going
just
on?
did G-Force treated barrels,
What
G-Force
does that
aging.
even mean?
It means that they put the barrels under more gravitational pull through
through a
a
portal.
machine.
They just
I
turned their
guess.
portal on and their portal gun, and it hyper aged, hyper decanted. I don't want to talk
Certain-
bad about hyper
Hold
decanting
on.
because I love that. But
certain barrels were exposed to different levels of gravitational forces at Whistle Pig's farm and distillery, accelerating.
so the forklift lifted them up from the ground level to the top and put it back down. And there's your G-force aging.
this
gravitational
accelerates the interaction between the whiskey and the wood, according to Whistle Pig.
It does nothing.
This expression will be available online for purchase at Whistle Pig's website and is set to sell at $50
We're reviewing it.
MSRP.
We are reviewing that bottle. I cannot wait for that show. The amount of content I already feel like we're going to get out of that. And guys, Whistle Pig, we love you.
We do.
We
do.
love
We do.
older Whistle Pig products. And I say like the 10,
I don't even mind
the
6 year
old
piggyback.
world. Yeah, the old world. But not only that, the rye, the 10-year, the 15-year. Love the 15-year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like really, really enjoy it. Like some of my like top 10, I would put Whistle Pig in there somewhere. But hearing this, guys, this is like when beer just started becoming super popular,
Yeah.
and then they learned about like, oh, we can turn it into like a milkshake
Hey,
and
just-
add a bunch of crap fruit to it. And
Just
there's
for fun.
your fruited Berliner Weisses.
I tried looking up some beer stories for tonight.
Yeah,
The last time a
beer's
beer
laying
story-
low. Beer's on the downswing.
Hey,
So
when
beer's
do
not.
you think the last nationally published beer news story
was probably the Bud Light shenanigans.
It was 6 weeks ago. I was like, well, that's not relevant.
I don't even know.
So there you go. Some booze news for you tonight.
That's some great booze news.
I thought you'd
And it's
enjoy that.
it's good because I think we, and especially Vegas being Vegas, we kind of have our fingers on the pulse with like the trends and what's going on in the world. We kind of get it
Agreed.
first.
Agreed.
I'm not saying like, we get it first, so F you. No, I think we do see some trends start here first.
Yeah, I agree
and
with that.
and
Yeah.
it's just interesting to see where the cards fall. You're just like, sometimes it's like,
Sometimes it's falling fast.
and you're just like, oh, or you could be pleasantly surprised. Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
I'm very
Yeah.
negative these past like 15 minutes,
I
and
don't
I
know. I don't know. I think
Ed's laughing here over gravitation via
I'm
forklifts.
telling you.
No, but I'm like, it's Mark, and you're like, all right, so we're gonna
Then they
increase the
spin them
gravity.
around. They spin them around. Hold on. I'm
Get in your
gonna
forklift.
gravitationally-
You're in a spinny chair. Spin the
Hold
chair.
on,
Spin
I'm
the
gonna
chair.
gravitationally change my whiskey.
Come on.
Hold on. Again.
All those G-force, dude. That was a 0.001 G-force you just exposed that
Guys,
whiskey to.
Hey guys, I can't wait to try this. This is going to be totally different.
You should have just held the bottle and spun it around, and the whole bottle would have been exposed to additional G-forces.
Whoa. Whoa, man. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. We
I-
jumped the shark. This show is over. The show is over.
Hold on.
For the Barrel Buddies. We are leaving. Oh
No, hold on. One second. Well, what do we have on deck? Let's talk about what we got coming up.
We gotta
And if
go
you guys
look
got
at the
any
book.
questions in chat, hit us up. Let us know.
We got to go look at the book. I don't know.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna have to
don't
go to
know.
the
We gotta
book,
look at the
friends. But
book.
as we said, September to the end of September into October and the holidays,
Got some stuff.
we got a ton of stuff going on.
We got some stuff.
It's gonna get busy for us.
I would just say I think we've got some cocktails coming your way.
Cocktail show, wine show. We're gonna
We
go.
always tease the wine show.
I know. It's coming.
Always
It's coming.
tease it.
What else? Anything else?
Nothing that I'm ready to announce.
And that's fine.
We're cooking.
We're cooking. We got some stuff cooking.
Hey, speaking
friends.
of, I'm just wondering, would you like to know?
Yes.
This one was one I just picked for me.
Okay.
Would you like to know the 9 best bourbons to use when baking?
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this right now. I mean, this kind of goes with cooking wine. Just use the cheapest. It doesn't matter.
Well, this is
But
interesting. Here you
please,
go.
I'd like to hear.
Here are the
these-
9 best ones to use, and we won't We won't tell you why. Instead, we'll link it in the chat.
That's good. There we go. We'll do that.
The first one, guessing number 9,
Yeah.
Maker's Mark.
Okay.
Number 8.
Is this from like what they like their worst to best?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. What they claim.
I didn't read it. I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't
So
read
for
it yet.
baking. Okay.
Number 8, they list Buffalo Trace. Buffalo Trace.
Buffalo. Okay.
Number 7, Woodford Reserve. How dare this make any chance at being better than this? Bullet Bourbon. Ugh. The Knob Creek Smoked Maple. I don't advocate for this one. The Eagle Rare. This one's interesting. Wild Turkey 101.
What? No, it's so delicate. No.
Old Granddad Bonded.
No.
And then as the ultimate cooking wine,
Cooking bourbon.
as the ultimate cooking bourbon.
What?
But I think it's the ultimate cooking wine. What do you buy for your cooking wine?
I'll be honest. I would just I'd box it. I'd Franzia or black box it.
So I keep a
It's
jug.
just cooking.
No, you know what I keep?
What do you keep?
I keep a jug of Carlo Rossi in the
Carlo
pantry
Rossi.
on the
Carlos
floor.
Rossi.
I keep Carlo Rossi because I'm like, oh, I need a little red wine.
It'll last forever.
This'll
It's a
be
table
fine.
wine. It just sits there. You pour it. It's consistent taste.
I use it often enough that I'm not worried about it going bad.
What is it? Do tell. What was the winner?
Angel's Envy.
I didn't want to like justify this with any comments back.
We
Like,
love you. Thanks for tuning in.
That like here's the thing, and I bet that writer probably got like his boss. Oh, that's a great article. Like as part of his like
How
five,
to lose a guy in 10 days.
five
I love it.
his
I mean,
5 article a month quota, and he just pulls that out of his ass. Like, why? We unfortunately did not get to the Blue Note single barrel tonight.
I
But
mean, I'm drinking it. I think it's delightful.
but Jeff,
Very different.
Jeff Smith, we miss you too as well. It is really good to see you, and we
should hang
will. We need to hang out. And I would love to get him some Blue Note.
Hey, Jeff, you want to
Actually,
hang out?
Jeff, you ready for this? So not only do I have just single barrels, which are a very single, uncut, barrel-proof expression from them, I have some barrel blends, 3-barrel and 5-barrel blends that have a beautiful story about a storm destroying the warehouse in Blue Note in Tennessee, and the barrels sitting in a field for a couple months while they cleaned up the distillery, and those barrels went into these bottles that I have, and it is a magical treat. We're going to tell that next time on the show.
Or at least next time we bring out some
He's
Blue
ready.
Note.
He's ready. He said he's ready. So,
All right.
I'll
text you.
Are we yet? I think they were wrapping up.
We're done.
We're really ramping up in the like more and more people are showing up. I almost want to just keep the momentum going.
Hey, listen, I'm sorry that we missed you. We started late.
Yeah, we did start late. Our apologies, but please restart the show if you're bored.
Hey,
and just
shout
wanna
out to
catch up.
Safi. Hey, Safi, we're thinking of you.
Oh, Safi. Yeah, I hope you are doing well. All of the well wishes from all of us at the Barrel Buddies fam, and we hope you are doing well. And Mrs. Askin says, shame on both of us.
For why?
A true chef knows that any dish is only as good as the sum of its parts. Best ingredients equals best end result.
Okay.
Ratatouille. Okay, Ramsey over here. We got Wolfgang Puck in the
Ratatouille
in the chat.
Gonna be making me some food. Hey, no. I would like to be a happy person. I'm not gonna say anything bad.
What is this on my pants?
Oh my God!
In the for the Barrel Buddies, I'm James.
And I'm BJ.
We'll see you guys next week.